Brian from Constantly Calibrating. I'm here with Nigel from Devolver Digital.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going well so far. Day 2, getting into it. I probably need a little bit more caffeine, but right now I'm running okay. How about you?
I'm good. I had a Bloody Mary earlier, so I'm good.
I'm very envious right now. So, you are the head of Devolver Digital, or
I'm one of the partners.
One of the partners?
We don't have a head. There's 5 of us that started.
That's a great way to run a company, though, because that way there's no
Pure
like,
democracy, in the truest sense of the name.
a little bit of anarchy thrown in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So you guys are a indie game publishing company, correct?
Yes.
So kind of tell me, what's your process of choosing the people that you want to promote, the people that you want to get their games out there?
Yeah. Ultimately, we meet developers most of the time through other developers. Sometimes it's pitches via email, or sometimes at events like GDC.
Yeah.
And we look at a game and we look for something that's just genuinely unique about it, something different that we haven't seen before that'll help it stand out, in a game that we think needs to be brought to the masses, brought to a larger audience. And we just see if something's kind of cool, if we have time to work on it, and that we like the developer themselves, because that's important to be friends with them, to be honest with you. And that's all we look for, just try and find the cool stuff out there.
Yeah, because you guys have a vast spectrum of the games that you produce, because you have something that's fun to play like Broforce,
right,
and then you have this really deep story for Hotline Miami. Like that messed with me the first time I played through it, and just like
a lot of people.
and I love that you have that much difference with Hotline though. Do you guys as a publisher kind of have any say on that, or were you just like, have your creative vision, go with that?
That's it. We let the developers do whatever they want to do. I mean, that's our point, is to get out of the way, let them develop the game, and then we do everything else that they don't want to do, so they can focus on making the game. So it's marketing and events and PR and distribution and legal stuff and business stuff, or licensing music. They let them focus on making the game. And all of our developers, they ask us for our feedback. They want to know what we think, and we're partners, we're friends.
Right.
So they ask for those things, but in the end, it's ultimately their call. So it's 100% their game.
Now, do you guys have fans of Devolver themselves, or is it fans of the games that kind of siphon to Devolver?
It's because of our games. The way we talk about it is we don't do PR for ourselves, except for we make a sign sometimes. But the games represented us, so the better games we put out there, I think people are starting to feel like if a game's made or is published by Devolver, that it has something interesting going on. It may not be for everybody, but at least it's worth taking a look.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the primary way we get fans, is people like our games.
So, as a publisher, what is your outlook, or kind of your feeling of the industry and where it's at right now?
I mean, it's as good as it's ever been, if you ask me. There's problems throughout the industry with things, whether they be social issues or how monetization happens or whatever. But in the end, there's more people playing games than ever. There's more people making games than ever, and the ability to get their games to people, whether they're small niche titles or things they just do for themselves on a personal level, or things they do commercially to make money. More games are being made, more people are playing these games, things like RTX here were not possible probably 5 years ago, and now it's here and it's huge. So I think the state of the industry is fantastic. I mean, there's always going to be things to work through, but we'll work through them, and it's a great time to be a gamer. It's a great time to be someone making games.
So, of the games that you guys have published, which is your favorite?
My personal favorite? That's a good question. I have to say this on camera in front of everybody. Every other developer that I don't say your game, I'm sorry. I'd have to say, honestly, the favorite one that we've done so far is Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
And the reason is because it was through and through something that we saw at a very early stage and watched grow to something big.
Yeah.
And it was really thrilling personally to watch, and I really enjoyed working with the developers. It was just neat to see something go from this kind of seed to something huge like that. And it did something different. I personally have beat it multiple times on PC and Vita and PlayStation 3, and it's about to come out on PlayStation 4. It's just something that I think personally I really like.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then
but everybody else, I love your games too.
So, in getting this stuff out there, kind of what's the infrastructure that you guys have set up to publish these games? Like, is there a kind of a set way that you guys like to get games out there, or kind of?
Every game's different. Yeah. I mean, that's that's our whole model, I guess, is just look at the situation for the developer and the game, what kind of game it is, and the audience, and adjust accordingly. So there's no template for that. I mean, something's shared, but the idea is to get it out, get it in front of people, get it in front of press, get it in front of gamers at events like RTX. and then help the developer do whatever they need to do to make the game the best as possible. We're bootstrapping everything. We're a guerrilla if we need to. We just do whatever we have to do. There's no template. It's not a science, but we try and do it, and so far so good.
So, kind of last thing, so for people who want to develop their games, who want to kind of maybe come to you guys, what would be some advice for them as far as what you guys look for in a title, or what you think should be done as far as getting those? I
mean, we meet people via email. Just send us an email. Send us an example. The more that you have to show, the better, to be honest with you. If we can play something, that's the best. But just my personal preference is for someone to be very succinct. Give me the basic idea and why it's different. If you come and say that this game is like this and this game combined with this game, that it almost just sets off the idea that maybe it isn't that unique. You just come with the idea that this is what my game's about, this is why I'm doing it, and this is what I hope to achieve. It can be 3 sentences long, and then the artwork or a test build. That's all we need to know, and we'll play it from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, do you have any plugs? Anybody you want to shout out to? Before
yes.
we go?
I'd like to give a shout out to Constantly Calibrating, my new favorite media company. They've been very kind to me. They're all very handsome. And that's a little shout out I got.
All right. Well, this has been Brian from Constantly Calibrating.
Whoa! You're with Constantly Calibrating?
I know.
That's amazing. All right.
This is Nigel from Devolver Digital, and we wish you a good sign off. Have a great day.